So today we're going to do an actual cook on this. This is my Masterbuilt AutoIgnite Series 545 grill. I have the cover on it because it was actually raining, and it's probably going to rain off and on a little bit here. But we're going to do an actual cook with this. I have 4 fillets that we're going to be doing on this guy. I'm going to try to cook them to medium rare, medium rare, somewhere in there. And yeah, so to get started, I'm going to get this cover off. We're going to get plugged in, and we're going to get some charcoal in there, get the igniter, or the fuel to, I guess, to ignite, and yeah, we'll get this thing going. You know, obviously, when one of those accessories that I would highly recommend is the cover. It's going to make sure the grill stays nice and clean and dry during rain. And this thing has been out in some rainstorms already. Because I have it over here, I have to use an extension cord for video purposes. She's booting up. While it's doing that, I'm going to add some more charcoal in here. And there it is. It's just was a boot up sequence. It's not actually igniting yet. That's going to be enough for what I'm going to do today. Now, unlike what I did the first time I actually ignited this grill, I'm going to do exactly what you're supposed to do. So you turn it on, and what I would do here is hit the auto ignite button and set the temperature. There we go. It's blinking right now. Once this goes solid, that is when we will actually put this little guy on the tray. Okay, she just went solid. Pull out this guy, put this guy on this guy. I'm gonna shake that stuff off and push it in until it stops, kind of give it a little push, and then shut the door. So if we look in here, we can see the starter is on and going. Now, I have had it not go the first time, and so probably because I waited too long to put the starter in, but you can also just put the starter in and then hit the button. It's not that big of a deal. But if it doesn't go the first time, the one time I did, I pulled the starter back out, flipped it over, pushed it back in, and then hit the button the second time, and then she started up. So just so you know. Okay, so I actually got my apron on now, but I do have, this came with the grill. This is just one of the 4 temperature probes that you can actually add to this grill. Comes with one, you can always add more. So I just have this plugged in ready to go. But in this case, I do want to go through and hit the temperature button. I'm not going to go to 450. I'm actually going to go to, I think, 375. But there we go. Now also, this grill is Wi-Fi, so let's check the app for that. Okay, now you can see there are multiple Masterbuilt apps in here, but at the same time, if you want to see how this grill is easy it is to set up with the app, definitely check out my video to basically the app and Wi-Fi connection. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Masterbuilt app, and let's tap on this grill to connect. I just tapped on the grill, and you can see it's already up because it's already connected to Wi-Fi. I've already set this up so it connects to my Wi-Fi every time I turn the grill on and power it up. So I can do everything from here. I can set the temperature, I can set the cook time. In this case, I'm going to put the set target temperature here in the probe setting once we actually get the meat attached. Well, while I wait for this grill to get hot, I am going to scrape off, at least off the top. Now, I am one to clean the grill to a point, but I'm not looking to get this thing super duper clean until it's time to actually clean a lot of it off. But I do like these wooden paddles to clean them because I don't want any steel bristles in my food. All right. Okay, so we reached temperature, and I have my fillets here well seasoned, maybe a little heavily seasoned, but then again, I wanted it to seep in good. I'm gonna throw these guys on here. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the probe, bring it in. There's actually a little port here on the side. I'm going to stick it into the center portion of this, the fattest one, essentially, and close it. And now we just give it some time. So we have everything on the grill here. We have the probe plugged into the meat. If I go down, you can see that the probe is actually plugged in. Right now it's set at 56 degrees. I'm gonna bring this up. And the nice thing about this is I can choose the type of meat. So I'm gonna do beef, confirm. And I can just say steak, that's fine. And we're gonna go medium. We prefer our steaks medium. Cooked to 145, I'm gonna hit confirm. And now we have that target temp set to 145, and it's gonna give me an indicator here. Now, when I get closer to probably about 100 degrees, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna flip the meat and get it flipped over to the other side. And that's what I did last time. It was like some of the best steaks that we've ever had. So now it's just about waiting, so give it time. Okay, so meat is just over 100 degrees internal. There we are. I'm gonna make sure it's in the middle of the meat still as close as I can. And there we go. See you in a bit. So the meat's still cooking on this. It's got a little bit to go to get to that 145 temperature, but I did want to stop real quick and talk about the grill itself. And my experience so far has been actually way better than I thought it would be. Now this is a charcoal grill versus a pellet grill or a gas grill. So the time it takes to heat up and get up to temperature is definitely more than I would say most grills, but it is similar to any charcoal grill. It takes time. Now this also doesn't use any lighter fluid or anything like that. You just put the charcoal in, whether it's lump charcoal or charcoal briquettes. You can, this will use either, and then you just put the little fire starter down there and let it auto ignite and go. And it maintains the temperature of whatever you set it to. Now the big thing is between this and a standard charcoal grill is it's indirect heat, right? It has that hopper here that's actually heating up, and it's blowing the hot air using a small fan into the chamber, and you get the flavor, you get everything that you would typically get on a charcoal grill, but it's an indirect heat, so you're not getting flare-ups or anything like that. So there's a lot of benefits to it. My experience so far has been fantastic. The only downside is it takes time for it to get up to heat. And so sometimes if you really want to get going and get grilling and eat, like you got a time, like it's getting a little late right now, but, and I did up the temperature a little bit to 390, which to be honest, last time I did it, I upped it to 400 to get a little bit faster because it was also a later night cook. But you know what, in all reality, it's not too bad. And the big thing about this is obviously once you start cooking, then you can increase temperature and cook it to however you want it. But it is like a pellet grill in terms of indirect heat, and the flavor profile is fantastic. Now, of course, I would argue that this has, it's a different flavor profile than what you would get out of a pellet grill. And so far, I have really enjoyed it. But the type of heat you get, everything about it is just, you know, there's not a whole lot of bad things other than time factor. It's not a super fast grill to go. Same thing goes when you turn this off. It will take a while for that the firebox to cool down in temperature, because yeah, it'll turn off the fans, right? So it's not going to feed any more air into it, so it's going to cut off the oxygen flow as much, and it's going to slowly burn down to stop. But unlike a a pellet grill, you know, that you have to keep plugged in and let it go through its cool down process. This grill is different in that you literally just unplug the darn thing and walk away and let it cool down on its own. So that is a plus on that one. It just takes longer for it to cool down. So long time to heat up, long time to cool down. But the cooking in the middle, if you like charcoal, this is the way to do it. So I bumped up the temperature to 400 for a little bit, and then I brought it back down to 390. We are at like 144, so we are almost at 145. And now we're at 145 for the temperature of the food. So we are gonna get these guys off the grill, and then we're gonna let them rest for a brief bit. But there we go. And yeah, now with the grill itself, and I don't have to take this out of here, to be honest, I just like to let it cool down. We can just unplug the power and let it turn off, and let's go up and eat. All right, so they've rested here for a short bit. I'm gonna grab one of these guys. I'll take the bigger one. Let's just cut right into the meat of it. So nice and red in the middle here yet. Of course, we gotta try it though. Bon appetit. It just literally falls apart in your mouth. It's so good. It cooks it perfectly every time, obviously. All right, time for supper. Okay, so we just got done eating, and that steak was perfectly cooked. Arguably way better than any steak I've had in almost every restaurant that was worth mentioning, maybe aside from one. So this grill made it super easy to cook this steak to perfection. As soon as it hit that 145, took it off the grill, I let it rest for 5 minutes or so, let the juices soak back into the meat, and literally almost fell apart in my mouth. So Masterbuilt, you're making a fantastic product that's easy to use, that gives great results. And that's the big thing. The results are fantastic. Now, I'm done eating. We're going to be starting to clean up everything, but I'm going to have to let this grill cool more because it's still hot. And that is the only downside. Not that it's that big of a downside, because I don't have to come out and turn it off. I turned it off, I unplugged it when I was done cooking. So now the whole hot coals will burn their way down to nothing, and that'll be that, and it'll just take time. So I'm not gonna cover this, and I obviously don't cover this while it's still hot, but the Masterbuilt AutoIgnite Series 545 grill. I have cooked multiple things on this, and it has not disappointed ever, at all. It's fantastic. The flavor is fantastic. The meat cooks to perfection. It tells you when it's done. The app works great. It's Wi-Fi connected, and so the app will work anywhere you have internet connection. So if you want to run down to the store and grab some buns or something for the whatever, you can still monitor the grill, and it'll at least tell you the temperature of the grill, and if you're using the probe, the temperature of the probe. So fantastic. And I will say this, outside of me, all 3 other members of my family said it was delicious, and my youngest daughter said it's probably the best steak she's ever had, and it came off this grill. So Masterbuilt, fantastic. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. It's been a pleasure to actually do the videos on this product. The setup video I have online, I have the initial essentially seasoning of the grill. I have that video on there, the Wi-Fi setup, and now my full review cook on it. And I think the only thing that I can say anything bad about, other than there's a lot of parts, so building it took some time. Outside of that, it's just the time it takes to heat up and cool down. It takes a little bit. But if you have time, you get it going and let it do its thing. It'll automatically do its thing. So Masterbuilt, I'm a huge fan of this product. It's a great grill. 2 thumbs up. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the other videos on this grill. I'll have them all here in the description, and I'll have several here at the end. And so you can check those out. Thank you for watching to the very end. And we'll catch you back here on techgooch for another video review. See you soon.